just restart the stream, so I guess it would.
Yeah. So, guys, streamers, people, and YouTubers, apparently, because that's where we're gonna put it on, I guess. This other guy here talking, this amazing strange player, is Evo Toaster.
What's up, guys?
And we're... Yeah, like I did say on Reddit, I was gonna start a tutorial on Evo Toaster. I was like, gonna start one too. So we might as well just start here. Easy to record since it's archived.
Yeah, it kind of started like I was trying to make a tutorial, but it ended up being way too extensive for me to do it in like one sitting.
Dang.
So I just kind of kept putting it off. Then you came over and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make one too." And I was like, "You know what? We should do it at the same time."
Yeah, we should do it at the same time. And here we are, stream. Alright. I have the list
now,
thingy.
we know it is against the law to be a magician and share your secrets, but we're going to show you all of our magic tricks today with Doctor Strange.
I'm gonna turn this up a bit. Alright, so Doctor Strange. Why do we
think about
pick
this character, Mini Boss?
Why do we pick Strange Evo Toaster?
Well, the big selling point to Strange is the utilities he brings to a team. Like, him on point is good, but it's like, you know, he's never going to be like Zero or Morgan or Virgil like that. Not to say that he's bad, but he's just not on that level. But the things he does bring to the team are all the things that he could bring that are not on point. Like, he has 3 really good assists. He has really good hypers that are good for DHCs. The TECs are really good. The tag out combos, his crossover counters, and he's a really efficient X Factor user.
Indeed. I think, I mean, I like Strange because for his damage potential and insane lockdown options compared to like some of the other characters in the game. Like he's
a really good battery.
He's probably the best
support
character in the game, like next to Doom's missiles and like Rocket Raccoon maybe. He's like one of the better.
Yeah.
Him, Dante, Doom, and Rocket Raccoon, probably the best second slot character in like the entire cast.
The only problem with it is that he's so complicated that a lot of people are deterred from him to put him on his team because you can't just say, "Oh, you play this character, well, you could kind of play him like this or whatever." He's really his own deal. Yeah,
you guys have to see him as a... I think he's a full-screen offensive character is probably the best way to put it. So he's not... He's a zoner in a sense, but not so much as like a Morrigan zoner. More like he uses the zoning tools to prepare his like attack on you. Like,
right. Go ahead. Set up your offense by playing full screen.
Yeah, it's a full screen offensive character, but you have to be defense. You have to have good defense to play him. That should be about it.
Right. Defense comes first, then the offense. If you can't defend long enough, you'll never get the time to set up your offense.
Yeah, man. I was playing Y2J yesterday, the man who never seems to come on anymore. Man, I had to defend for days against this Wolverine. But once I killed that Wolverine, it was like all over for his entire team. There was like nothing he could do.
Yeah. And that's part of another great thing that Strange is good for on teams is that you could tag him in just like for 1 second, like after you kill a character, to throw out a Naive Agamotto attack back. This is the thing that Nemo is really famous for.
Yeah, he's really good at just highlighting the strong points of your other members of your team. It's usually like a pretty safe option.
Yeah. Which is really cool for like preserving power-up supers. Like with my team, Zero, Strange, Dante, if I do a lightning loop but it kills on like the first hit, and I want to save that Sukenmu time, I could tag the Strange, put out an eye, and go back to Zero.
Best Strange teams, apart from Nemo and Bionic Doctors? I think Dante, anything with Dante in it would be like an amazing Strange team.
Like, let's just talk about like his best teammates.
Yeah, his best teammates.
And like the people who benefit from him most.
I mean, like, you already seen through Nemo on my team that Spencer's probably one of the best. Dante is by far his best assist, I think, only because of the sheer speed of the attack assist, its priority. you can like kind of abuse a lot of Strange's options like teleport and with the jam session, and the synergy is really good too on that team. So like Dante, Strange.
Yeah, Dante gets a lot out of Strange as well. Doom is like good just because Doom is great for everyone.
Yeah, Doom's a universal character. That doesn't really count, but yeah.
Spencer is good, and like if you're doing a Nemo style team,
yeah,
then getting a guaranteed hard tag to him is always good.
Like
the only problem is that Spencer's assist is kind of pretty low profile.
Yeah.
Like it's mostly good for combos, but the damage.
Horizontal assist would also work kind of well, but they're not as like useful as they should be unless the horizontal assist keeps them in a standing position or locks them down for a long period of time. Like if you compare a regular beam like Disruptor, that's actually not a very good assist for Strange in general. But
it doesn't do enough block stuff. Like it's fast, but won't leave you as
pretty good too. But like definitely, yeah, you need something that would lock down the enemy for periods of time for Strange to be consistent in his attack.
Like if you want to construct like a really good Strange team, my basic formula is one horizontal assist, like a projectile or a beam, and one neutral game assist, like jam session or hidden missiles or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And like some assists can play double duty like that. Like jam session is kind of horizontal, that works that way. Sentinel drones works both as well.
Mm-hmm. I kind of had to make mine's work because my team is less focused on like neutral Stranges because I can't afford as much of the team like mine because I don't have a horizontal coverage. I had to make that myself. But my team is heavily like mix-up based. Once I kill that first character, it becomes extremely hard for the next team to like fight back.
And like Stranger's just missiles is still good. It's just that you have to play defensive more often than you play offensive because without that horizontal coverage, you won't be as safe to try to be too offensive.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, like there's some good things and bad things about this character. I would say that this character has like one of the worst forms of mobility in the game compared to like some of the other.
Oh, definitely. Like his blink dash isn't the fastest. He doesn't have an air dash or a double jump or anything like that.
He has like one of the worst wave dashes. Worst looking wave dash.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah,
and like all of his moves are really unsafe on block. Like my favorite is his crouching light. Just his crouching jab is -7 on block, -6 on hit.
Yeah, like there's not really any truly safe block string unless you have a fall team that Strange has. Like even Mystic Sword, which is 0 on block, doesn't work on every single character. Because certain smaller characters and those crouching characters won't get hit by every single hit of the Mystic Sword, because that last hit is the one that causes the 0 on block the 0 on block neutral state. So you kind of need different block strings and like different strategies.
Yeah, you need to be creative with how.
Go ahead.
Most people will think like a lot of people will start catching on where they don't really need to push block against Strange. Because eventually it's just going to end a chain with an unsafe move, because he has no way to end it safely. Like if you're fighting someone who's new to find Strange, they'll end up push blocking at first. But eventually, you need to learn to do safer things. And there's some strategies you can use to keep yourself safe up close if you don't have an assist. But generally you want to make contact with an assist as much as possible so you have time to set up an eye on him.
Yeah. Yes. I think one of his let me think about this one. Like one of his key neutral game is like if you play in a neutral game with Strange, I would like really never want anyone to get close to this character. But if you do, I mean, depending on which matchup you face, you have to do different things. Like sometimes you have to throw out light daggers in the block string rather than Mystic Sword. Or sometimes you go Mystic Sword against the bigger characters, or Fall Teams against the even larger ones, but all in all, like, he doesn't really have that many safe options, to be honest.
Yeah, so ideally you should stay full screen.
That's what throws people off, is because sometimes like they don't want to pick a character who has to play differently against different matchups. it's not like Zero, which is like universal to all characters.
Right.
Strange actually has to like account for the different hitboxes to combo with, different like matchup rush down or keep away. You have to play differently with Strange. So he's a high learning curve character, but has a lot of great keep away and lockdown and offensive options.
So, like some example teams, like the most commonly seen Strange team is Team Nemo, which is Nova and either Strange second or third, or Spencer second or third.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea behind that team is Strange should never see the battle outside of doing a hard tag combo.
Yeah.
And that's a perfectly valid way to use Strange. It's just that, you know, you have to have a plan B. And that team, you know, that Spencer, Stringy, She-Hulk, Iron Fist if you really want to.
Yeah.
Even Phoenix Wright.
Those teams are more heavily oriented as Strange for mostly damage output and assist.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, like, Bolt's assist actually goes pretty far. It's definitely one of the better assists in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even all of his assists are. But with that Spencer Strange shell, you're pretty much only getting one assist, because Spencer's stand assist is mostly for combos.
So, what do you think? Like, you know, what do you think that Strange Anchor plays any differently from Strange in other positions? Because I feel like,
like Strange, when he has level 3 X Factor, he gets a 170% a speed boost, which is enough to make all of his unsafe things safe for the most part. So you could go a lot crazier with doing teleports that would normally be unsafe, or just doing pretty much anything. But the best part about Strange's X Factor is being able to do like a spell of Ashanti into X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a 11 frame move that'll hit anywhere, no matter what, and he can kill off of it. And Strange doesn't even need to be on point for that to work. That's one of like the biggest tools that makes Strange worth having on your team.
He could change the momentum in like an instant. Just
Definitely.
Because,
and like once you get someone scared into knowing that that's a possibility, then it totally changes how they have to approach you.
Alright, so I'm gonna wait, what should we go over this time? Like, oh, let's try some neutral talk, because, you know, people like don't know how to fight Strange sometimes because they don't know about like the properties of some of his attacks and like what each one can do.
So I think we covered all of Chapter 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, so that was just like introduction stuff and reasons why you should use Strange.
Yeah, he's a.
Next, we're going into all of his moves.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of Strange's moves are all very unique, but all actually have some pretty good uses.
Yeah, he has probably one of the largest variety of projectiles in like the game compared to any other character. So he's like the projectile version of Dante, because Dante has like 40 moves. Like Strange is like Dante if he only had projectile moves.
Right. So we'll just go down the list here.
There's
Standing Light.
Standing Light.
It's kind of
This is like
you can use it as an anti-air if you really want to, but it's mainly used as a combo tool after the super jump.
Yeah, this is like
impact palm and teleport.
The only time I would ever use this is I would only occasionally use this as an anti-air. It's a horrible move, but the thing is, like, Strange can go high low lights. Unlike most characters, he can whiff a high into a low light, which can kind of throw some players off because it looks like it's like one of those tricky frame trap situations that make you think that you whipped an attack. He does Standing Light with Nova, and then hits Crouching Light and catches most people off guard because they think that they can punish after the Stand Light. So I guess that's the only real use you can have to that. In case he whiffs a Stand Light by accident, you could always go into Low Light right after.
Can you do like Crouch Light, Stand Light, Crouch Light?
No,
It's
you
like
can't.
the bigger frame. Oh.
Like if you hit them with the stand light, then go low light, you can't go back to standing light. So like, yeah, I see. There is a short period of pause before you're allowed to go back to standing light. Otherwise people will be going stand, low, stand, and it'll be like ridiculously, like it's really stupid looking like frame trap where you just go high, low lights all day. But yeah,
That would be nice.
you can whip low into high, and you can whip high into low. But then once you do that, you can't go back to its original stop if you hit them with it. Never use it unless.
Quick frame data on that: 4 frame startup, 3 frame active, 20 frame recovery.
Ugh, so
That's
bad.
minus 10 on hit and minus 11 on block.
This move's so bad.
So not very safe, but it is very fast.
It whiffs on some standing characters too, which is like it whiffs on standing Wolverine, I think. So that's how bad this is.
It whips on all crouching characters. Like it's against airborne opponents only.
Just don't use it. It's not really that good.
Yeah.
Next we have
But going from useless move to very useful move, we have standing medium.
this is probably one of his go-to moves.
I like to call it the Mystic Chap.
The Mystic Jab. See, this thing has is a really good anti-air. Comes out decently fast. I think it's like 6 frames. So
Yeah, 6 frame startup.
a 6 frame startup has a huge hitbox, and it's probably the preferred way to start combos. Like
Yeah.
other than
Because it moves strange forward,
it moves strange
so
force,
it has more range than it looks.
and it's cancelable in the Mystic Sword, which is what some people do as an anti-air string. But go ahead, tell us some more about this
And
move.
yeah, it is cancelable. What's also good is that it's cancelable into Impact Bomb, so it gives you good confirms off that.
Yeah, this is my main confirm. I know there's other confirms to do with Strange, but one of the confirms that I do is standing M into Impact Palm when I hit them. So standing M is probably the best way to go into Impact Palm if you know you hit them with it.
Yeah.
It's a fast move.
And if you do a dash up with it, it'll extend the range really well.
Mhm.
So that's a good way to outpoke someone.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a good move. It's a good.
Yeah,
it's a move.
it's just a good move.
Yeah.
You should always be opening with it.
You should. This is your main
Unless
opening
you're
with
in
Strange.
range of a crouching light, which we'll get to later. But if you're trying to hit an airborne opponent or something, then you should always open with stand M, chain into palm, and go from there.
All right. Next, you have the standing H.
The frame data on that stand M is 6 frame startup,
Oh, okay.
3 frame active, 30 frame recovery, minus 15. Those moves are really insane.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised.
But they're all cancelled.
You have to chain all of your moves into everything.
Yeah, but they're all with cancelable into Mystic and daggers.
Yeah.
So you can kind of make them safe. So we have
So standing H
this move now.
is an interesting move.
Look at that range.
It's almost like a projectile. It is really good. The only problem is that there's 3 main hit spheres with standing H, and it isn't enough to hit crouching characters. But if you hit them right in the middle, where that big blast is, then it'll usually hit people all the time.
Really? So, oh wow.
Yeah,
Let's
you gotta
see.
be careful with that move. You don't always want to chain into that move.
So 3 hitboxes. This one, and this one. It's kind of weird how it doesn't hit all the time.
Yeah. But usually, if you hit them with something and they're blocking, if you chain to stand H, it'll usually hit them because it'll push them back farther away, and their blocking hitbox is usually bigger. Again, usually with.
Yeah, it's not a move I would use too often. I mean, it's got great range.
I use it if I'm trying to counter poke someone with that range. It's actually good for that. But I will just immediately cancel into Mystic Sword because at that point I'm trying to hit with the max range.
Yeah, sometimes it's the only thing you can confirm off a super far Mystic Sword. Like a triple foot Mystic Sword can probably only be cancelled into that or spell of a shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty much. It's
Yeah,
mild
like
usefulness.
it could use it as like an anti-air if you backdash with it, and they'll land into it.
It's really unsafe too, just like every other strange move. But
Yeah,
I would not.
so use it sparingly.
Yeah,
Like,
don't use it
there's
too much.
are some places for it, but not a lot.
What's next?
It's actually really good. 35 frame recovery, minus 16 on hit, minus 17 on block.
Nice.
So now his crouching moves. His crouching light is pretty much your main I'm trying to hit you tool.
Yeah, it's a pretty
The
good
only problem is that it looks like it would be a low hitting move, but it is not.
Yep. Unfortunately. It's not a low, but at least it's matchable. So
Yeah, it is matchable, which is very good because it's like minus 6 on hit or block.
it's good for
So-
creating frame trap situations too.
Yeah. Basically how I use this move is that if I'm ever in close range, I'll use that move to hit them, and if they're blocking, I'll keep doing it until they're far enough away to not punish me. And if it hits, then I'll go to stand in, impact palm, and do a combo.
Yeah.
Because there's no point to where you could just stop doing a jab and be safe, because you're always going to have to chain into something unsafe. So you just want to make sure you're out of range at least, because that jab is throw punishable.
That's true.
So like if you're trying to do like a tick throw setup where you like walk up, do a crouch light, and because they could throw you out of your throw startup, or like before you do the throw when you're still recovering from the jab, and you won't get a throw tech because it'll be a counter throw.
Ooh, say that again? It'll be a
So
count.
like if you're doing like a tick throw,
Uh-huh.
if you're basically going to do like a crouch light and chain it into an impact palm, which is going to be your throw, but they could throw you out of that because you're still recovering from your crouching light.
Okay.
So it'll be counted as a counter throw and you won't get a tech throw.
That's true. That's
So
right.
so you have to be really confident in them not going to attempt to tech that throw, or else don't get thrown.
What's the frame data on this one? 4 start? Or 5 start?
It's 5 frame startup, only active 2 frames, 17 frame recovery, minus 6 on hit, minus 7 on block.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's his main
So that only does about 12 frames of block stun.
poking tool, I guess.
Yeah. Like, it's good to dash up with it as long as you have something to cover yourself with.
Otherwise,
And staying safe, something we'll get into later.
yeah. And then we have this. I like this move a lot. Like just because it's like ridiculous looking, but not only that, it's like a really unexpected anti-air. Like this is a really good anti-air.
Like, the hit sphere, like, extends just a little bit past his hand, basically. Like, where that particle effect is. And Strange can't be hit to, like, where his head is.
It's as if it's
So
a
it
short,
protects him really well.
It's like a shorter version of Virgil's sword launch, kind of. Like a smaller version of like some of the better launchers in the game, better like Virgil's launch and like Hawkeye's standing M kind of. But it keeps Strange safe from a lot of the air attacks that people do, because they can actually. Do the hands themselves have a hitbox? Like, are they a hurt box?
It's just the hitting them box, not the hitting you box.
So you can't get hurt if they just hit the hands itself.
Right.
So like this is a really good move, because like your hands aren't really considered part of Strange's body when you throw it out. So it's been tested. You can actually You can actually stop foot dives and dive kicks with this move if you throw it out at the perfect time.
Yeah. And it's active 5 frames, so you do have a pretty decent timing window. But again, all the Strange's moves are unsafe, so
Yeah, this is
if they bait it out, it's kind of a free punish.
This is a really like weird like. It's probably not the easiest move to confirm into.
Yeah, like you might hit them too high for the a Mystic Sword to work, or even a launcher. Sometimes you have to do a launcher. So really it's just like, at most, you'll just hit them so they can get away, even if you don't get a combo, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It also does a lot of pushback, so like if you're in a block string and you want to push them farther away, that's actually a good move to do with it. But don't do it to like confirm with, because then you'll be too far away to change to an impact ball.
So it doesn't have much horizontal usage, but that vertical use, that anti-air usage is amazing. So go to anti-air right here. What's the frame data on this one?
That's a 8-frame startup.
8 frames.
Which is slower than the standing medium, which is also a good anti-air. But depending on what moves you're trying to beat, you might want to use the crouching over the standing. And that's active 5 frames, 25 recovery, minus 13 on hit, minus 14 on block. And after that, we have the goal kick.
This one. Oh, did we go over the crouch H yet?
Oh, that's right, we didn't do the
crouch
H.
Yeah, this is also pretty like, it's like not as utilized as much as it should be.
That's his only low hitting move.
Yeah, but this is only low, so like, it's gotta have its usages every now and then.
Yeah, there's a few places where you could put it. The good thing about it is that it goes pretty far.
Yeah, its range is amazing. You can like literally put an eye out in front of you and still manage to sweep them under their feet. Right through the eye. So its range is like really good.
It's generally good as a block string ender. Like mashing crouch light thing and you're about to get out of that range. Then you do that crouching H and cancel it into something and you could stay safe.
Yeah, this is probably one of his other main block string enders right here. And his crouching H has like kind of like a little extension, a little dust particle that's the actual range right there, not his hands itself. So since this is a go too low, it's pretty useful in certain situations, like faking out throws then going out low. But it's not the fastest move. But like all Strange's move, like it can be cancelled into other moves, so you have to like make it a habit to cancel this into daggers or Mystic Sword or Faultines if you have them available.
Yeah, you don't want to try to use this to get combos because getting a combo with an impact palm gives you more damage, and you can't chain into that. Well, you can, but you won't get a crumple. So you only want to use crouching low or the crouch H for like mix-up purposes, or in a situation where you can only hit with that, or in like that block string scenario.
And now,
but other than that, it is a good move.
Yeah, in its own right.
Actually, one of his safer moves, like frame advantage wise.
So if you screw up a push block and it happens to come out as a low H, at least you'll have a chance of the enemy not reacting to the situation compared to the other moves you have.
Yeah, definitely. So that move is 9 frame startup, 4 frame active, 27 recovery, and it knocks down. But on guard, it's only minus 9, which is almost like his jab.
Oh, and a little note for me, when I start combos, I use low M into Impact Palm Mystic Sword just because it positions them in a way that allows me to do like mid-screen Faultines a lot easier. But like certain characters after the crumple, like there's many ways to combo after the crumple, but on Rocket Raccoon, you can't actually use the low M Mystic Sword Impact Palm Starter. You have to use the crouching H Impact Palm Starter. That's the only way he'll combo into a jump loop, other than using Graces or that kind of stuff. So on Rocket Raccoon, I use crouch H to start my jump loop combos, rather than crouch M, which is not something many Strange players use, but I like doing it a lot just because it positions them better for mid-screen Faultines for me.
Yeah, it does push back a little farther. So now we get to the goal kick.
The goal kick? I don't like this move, but Tell us about it.
So that's his launcher. It's usually recognized as one of the worst launchers in the game because it is minus 21, and it's already a launcher, so you can't really cancel it into anything. So it's on block, it's a free hit.
Yep, you have time to whiff the light move and still manage to get a combo after if I had messed this up. This move is so bad, like, but it has a good hitbox, which is, but I guess like,
starting a launch combo.
Like if you want a Hail Mary, like an anti-air, and bet it all on that, like you could like throw this out every once in a while. But other than that, I would never.
Like for what it's worth, it is a good anti-air. It has a good hitbox. Like it comes out fast enough. It's just it's a launcher. You don't want to whiff that.
Yeah, it's heavily unsafe, can't be cancelled. I would not suggest ever using this unless you're in a combo. Like, it should never be used as like a finisher to any block strain ever.
Yeah. The only exception is if like you're really desperate to keep them blocking with something and you have an assist.
Yeah, but even then, like I would just go into Mystic Swords or Light Daggers instead.
Or something like. It's really situational, but if you ever going to do it, make sure you have an assist to cover you, or else you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, X Factor, because you're gonna get hit if that move misses.
Yeah, never was like the riskiest move in like all of the entire game. Now Doom's launcher is actually safe Deadpool, so Doom's is -1 on block, and so is Thor's, I think. Thor's is also pretty safe, and that's all I know of right now. But yeah, launcher, Strange, don't use, unless you're comboing. And here we move on.
Thor's launch is -6 actually, but that's mostly safe.
Oh, okay. So
it's like Zero's.
Oh, Zero's is safe? That's so stupid.
Well, Zero's is -5, I think, but who cares?
Yeah. So we move on to wait, what's Spencer's then?
Spencer's is -7.
Oh, okay.
It's about that range, yeah.
Okay, so we went through most of his like ground normals.
Yeah. Well, hold on. The startup on launch is 8. Active's 5, which is pretty good for an anti-air, but don't do it. Recovery is 38. That's a lot of recovery. It's -21 block total.
Stranger's recovery is so bad. So yeah, just like out of all the launchers you could ever use, like Strange is not one of the characters you want to mash a launcher on.
Yeah.
Unless you're
Justin
Justin
Wong.
Wong.
That for Wesker.
Yeah, or unless you're Justin Wong, then you can somehow make it work. Yeah, so
on to air basic attacks.
You got Jump Light.
Yeah, Jump Light.
Is the equivalent of Standing Light.
Surprisingly useful move.
Yeah, it is way more useful than Stand Light. Because
like,
it's a good...
The big secret about Jump Light is that it's 8 active frames, which for a normal move is a whole lot.
Wow.
So, like, if you're trying to just, like, air someone, you can just jump with Jump Light frames of the move. It's also good for, like, those incoming setups you were showing earlier.
Oh, yeah.
They'll hit people meaty when they are on incoming. It's a lot easier to time with Jump Light, because it's 8 frames.
Yeah, it's
and you could just chain that into like medium or palm, and you could get a combo.
And if you're a Strange player who's like familiarized with the character, it's also a pretty good confirm in the air, like for certain situations. Like if you like standing medium doesn't cut it for you to jump confirm someone, then standing light might be fast enough to follow up. Like an example is like, sometimes when I'm in the middle of a game, I'm not thinking about confirms. Light would actually confirm better as a super jump confirm than medium right there, because I don't have time to react at times. You can actually use it.
Yeah.
With this much active.
And like, most people don't try to like find a spot to use like jump light moves for most characters, just because like standard air combo is medium HS.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of room for Strange's jump light if you're trying to outpoke someone.
Mm-hmm. It's a good poking tool in the air, I guess.
Especially if you super jump with it and go straight up, because that's 8 active frames going up really fast. So you could hit out people with that.
So you can hit it as you're going up, and it'll still connect. As you can see, I threw out the move extra early, and it still came out as I was going up. Yeah. And you already said? Did you already say the frame data of that?
It's 5 frame startup, 8 frame active.
5 frames.
And it's an air move, so the rest of it doesn't really matter. It's technically a 15 frame recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So jump medium.
I like this one.
That's a good move.
Good priority, and it's basic like combo starter for all like basic combo extensions for like all of Strange's combos.
Yeah, that's probably the more easier way to do an air confirm than with jump light. Mainly because it has a bigger hitbox and stuff like that.
I would just say it's a slower but more prioritized version of the jump light. Like higher priority but slower than the jump light. It's good like for countering like H foot dives from Doom, like fighting against a lot of like of the slower anti-air moves that the other characters have in the cast. Decent hitbox too, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Just like, pretty standard medium move. There's nothing too special about it.
Yeah. Frame data on this one?
It's 7 frame startup, 3 frame active, which is nowhere as much as the jump light.
Yeah.
25 recovery. You do want to learn the spacing on this move though, because you're going to be using it a lot for combos.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's like things that throw you off. If they manage to hit someone into a combo, like, most people do MMH impact comp, but if you're doing jump confirms with M, it might not always work if you do MMH impact comp, and sometimes it just whiffs because the enemy are brought up too high. So you gotta know, like, because M and light both bring the enemy up higher, so sometimes combos might not work depending on like how the situation is. Like, you might bring them up too high to confirm with the follow-up of H after. So just know, like, if the enemy is too high, like, cut the M short by 1. Instead of going 2 M's, you go 1. That's pretty much it for M. It's just a decent air move. We got H now. And this
the
is
air version of the goal kick. Much better move.
Oh yeah, this is amazing move right here. It's like, not only is the hitbox humongous on this thing, it's a great like falling back move, like a falling move to throw out at times. So
yeah, like what was that? I think in Street Fighter, Gouken's jump back roundhouse. Where he like jumps back and just like throws his foot forward, and everyone jumps away with that move and gets hit by it. That's basically what this move is really good for. It's good for defense and offense.
It's good. Yeah, like most of the time.
It's also good because it's also your air throw.
I mean, as you guys may know, air throws aren't always left and right. They can be diagonal left and diagonal right. So like, this is a good back option select tech throw, because if you're setting up braces in the air, people sometimes are going to try to chase you down and throw you out of the air. And then when you're setting this up and as you're falling, you could throw out an option select throw or goal kick, and it would either tech them or hit them overhead, because it is an overhead. And it has a huge hitbox, some of which is behind it, but most of it is in the front. So yeah, it's a good move. Slow but with high priority.
Yeah, and if you want to like start an air confirm off of it, you would do the jump heavy into palm into jump ass, which you could do off a super jump or a normal jump.
Oh yes. That's a super jump confirm too. because it has so much hit stun on it. Like at the start of like any like air confirm, like H's have almost as much like stun as like impact palm, like maybe a little more than half of it. So yeah, it's a good move. You know, use it. Use it sparingly though. That leg isn't completely safe, but yeah. What are the?
Yeah, I think like after the active frames, you can hit the leg.
Oh.
But
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I just thought of something.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so it is also his go-to instant overhead move if you have the right kind of assist to back you up, because H is one of the few moves that can hit standing medium-sized opponents like Virgil, and manage to get like confirms off that with the right assist. See, like right there, hit Virgil while calling grapple with H. If you fuzzy them, you can actually get good confirms. It's also good for, it's probably my main go-to Ricky Ortiz tech, where I go like this, X Factor and follow with the palm on medium-sized characters. But yeah, so like if you have a character the size of Virgil around, and he's standing up, it's a really good instant overhead score to throw people off with. That also counts as an option select. Okay, yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But like one like beginner strategy that I relied on when I was starting with Strange is, if you're in trouble, do a jump back, jump heavy. Because if they're in the air, you'll get an air throw. If not, you'll get away with a big hitbox, and you could cancel that into a teleport. And they'll usually try to punish you jumping back, so they'll like go into you as you teleport. That's like one of the better defensive maneuvers that you could start out with.
And the frame
Jump back, H into M teleport, and if you call them sit with it, it's even better. Start up on jump H's 8 frames, active for 3 frames, and 34 recovery.
Yeah, but that recovery doesn't really matter since he's in the air anyways.
Yeah.
Active only 8 frames? I could have sworn it was more than that, but...
It's active 3.
Oh, active 3? Wow, that is a really short activation.
Yeah. It's just that it has a really big hitbox.
So...
Then we have Air S.
Meh. It's alright.
It's good. The problem with it is that you can't cancel it into special moves.
Yeah, you can't do it. You can't really do much in the air if you just hit an S in the air until you land. So like,
yeah. Interesting note about those, that it does move Strange backwards.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Like if you just do like a normal jump straight up and do an S, you'll see Strange just kind of inch backwards the more you do it.
Yeah, by like 1 inch, I can't really tell.
Well, it's like, it's weird because he moves back and then he moves back forward. Like if he lands during the middle of the animation, you'll see him go back.
Oh, I see it. Oh my god, I see what you mean. What the heck?
Yeah.
This is... Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, you have to do that as you're falling, though.
Yeah.
So, as...
that's just a little thing to be aware of if you ever plan to use it. I mostly only use it, like if I do a setup where I'm going to do an H teleport and I'm going to fall on someone, I'll usually either fall with a jump H or a jump S. The decision being based on my range, because jump S has a more horizontal hitbox against crouching opponents than the jump heavy.
Oh, okay.
And also has a little more active frames, just 4.
Yeah, slightly more active frames. Not cancelable, but hits crouching opponents more easily. It's also good. It's also the preferred super jump confirm too. If you're doing a regular super jump confirm, since since you didn't launch them up in the air from an air confirm, S can actually be a good confirm tool. Like I just did right there.
Yeah. A lot of players, when picking up new characters, will kind of overlook the jump S of the character, because it's just kind of the thing that you normally do for those air combos. But a lot of characters' jump S moves actually have uses, and so does Strange. And there's a few interesting things that you could do with some ambiguous mix-ups I'll get into later. That's really specific, but it's really cool.
Say that again? Oh, just... Sorry,
It's like specific mix-ups with like how he moves back and stuff.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I never thought about using it, utilizing it like that.
Yeah. Like, you could cross up with jump H or go back to the other side with jump S because you move back. There's a few things you can do with it. It's 9 frame startup, 4 frame active, and 28 recovery.
Huh.
And I think it does the most block stun, or at least the same amount of block stun as jump H.
Good move to use at times. Though a little more risky, in my opinion.
So now he had to do his 2 command normals. The most important move that Strange has is the impact palm.
Yeah, this move is like
so important. He says it every single time he does it.
This is the move that kills teams right here. You do not want to trade with impact palm.
Yeah, don't trade with it. Don't get hit by it. You're done.
Now the thing, impact palm is actually faster than his standing H. Another move we mentioned earlier, and it's his go-to like combo starter. Like,
yeah, that's when you hit with that move. That's when your combo starts.
Yeah, because you can crumple them, get hit by an assist, and still manage to get a full combo afterwards. That's how much like. I mean, it crumples on the ground. It has a humongous amount of hit stun in the air. That remains relatively the same. Actually, it remains exactly the same throughout all the combos. No matter how long your combo is, impact palm will always have like a certain amount of hit stun attached to it. And it comes down to 6 frames, which is the same as the standing M. So like it's really fast too. Beats out like certain characters' normals, like Dante's for example. And is whiff cancelable into Mystic Swords, daggers, and all that, like every other move. Anything special that we need to know about this move?
The great thing is that it's also your forward throw.
Oh yeah, there's
the
that.
crumple move that option selects with your throw.
Best option select.
Obviously, that's pretty strong.
Like this is the option select that beats out like almost every other option select you do. It's a ridiculously dumb.
It's like the ground version of Wolverine's die kick option select.
Yeah, Paul, you can punish Mystic Sword on block only for certain characters, like, but if you actually get hit by all the hits of the Mystic Sword, it's actually 0 on block, so you're safe afterwards.
That was a strict question, by the way, for those YouTube viewers.
But anyways, yeah, Impact Palm is a fast move.
We'll get to Mystic.
Huh?
We'll get to Mystic Sword.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But, yeah, Impact Palm is just, like, the thing is that you don't want to just use it by itself because it has a lot of recovery, like a whole lot. Like on lift, it's about an entire second of recovery.
Pretty much.
So you want to at least have them block it.
You have to cancel it, that's for sure. Or have an assist back you up.
Yeah. We did talk about that zip, but we have another section on it where we go more in depth and we'll show you some things about Anchor Strange. Stay tuned for that. So, Impact Palm, 6 frame start, like you said. It's active for 5 frames, which is actually more active than all of his other grounded moves. So one good strategy that you can do is just to, like, if you know someone's about to, like, dash into you, you just throw out the palm, they'll usually run into it. Especially if you, like, dash up with it into them itself. Just be ready to cancel into something to keep yourself safe. It's 35 recovery and minus 18 on block. And plus a billion on hit.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that the air impact palm does not actually hit overhead, so most people you don't have to really worry about overhead impact palms, but his air H does, so that's a little note. Impact palm does not hit overhead in the air. it's actually considered a standing normal move, even in the air.
Air impact palm though is like one of the best things you can do because it's basically an impact palm with no recovery.
Oh yeah. Like if you air impact palm and you touch that ground, and you pretty much can throw out any other move right afterwards, and
yeah, it keeps you really safe.
You trade with this thing.
So it's a good move to just like jump around with, like if you're wary of someone about to come in. Because even if they try to anti-air you and you trade with it, then that's good for you.
Yeah, all his jump confirms, super jump confirms, combo extensions, and corner combos like all need impact palm in it somewhere, because because of the fact it's his go-to combo extension.
It's always fixed.
It's a fixed hit stun, so it's always going to be a certain amount of hit stun. Yeah.
Another good thing it's good for at the 99-second duel is to just jump forward or jump back and land with an impact palm. At the 99-second fight mark, it'll usually beat anything they try to do. That is assuming you have strings on point, like this brave man over here.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to throw it against like Hulk or like Wolverine or something, but there's a lot of characters that lose out to just impact palm at the start of the match. Especially Magnetos, who try to throw you out a lot. They don't realize that they can't win against impact palm.
Yeah.
And
like as far as forward heavy moves, Strange probably has one of the fastest in the game. So if you're like in a throw fight with someone and you get to that point where you're out of range, you're gonna win.
Pretty much. It's just do not get hit by this and you'll be fine. It's a good move to throw out.
Yeah.
And we have to move on to the next one. The next of his option select.
Baggage.
This is option select throws, and against certain characters like Hulk, it's really effective. It's his illusion counter. But basically...
Go ahead and put Virgil on Helmbreaker.
Yeah. His illusion counter has like pretty interesting properties, and there's a lot of tech to it. It's underutilized, in my opinion, because you don't see many strangers using it too often. But there's a lot of potential for this attack.
Oh yes.
Okay, I repeat. Okay. So we'll put Virgil on Helmbreaker.
The first thing to know is that it only counters mids and highs. So against grounded people or like people really close to you, it's not the best idea.
Yeah, it doesn't
counter. They can just
lows.
hit you low. But as an anti-air, or as like against Virgil, namely, it's a really good move.
So the basic Virgil string after Helmbreaker is Helmbreaker launch to make it safe. But the thing about Strange's illusion counter is it's actually considered a whiff move. So if I were to counter it, he doesn't get the priority to hit afterwards because he technically whiffed an attack. So as you can see right there, he couldn't immediately cancel into the launcher because the illusion counter whiffed his Helmbreaker. It's as if his Helmbreaker never connected with anyone. Same with the Stinger, because normally Stingers are cancelable, right, into launcher to make things safe. Oops, that took a while. But if you counter the Stinger, come on, Virgil, quit playing around. See? You see he couldn't cancel into the launcher right there. Because it's considered a whiff move. And it's a good option select, too, as well. And,
now,
the
frame data on this move is actually really interesting to know. It's only 4 frames startup. It's active for 21 frames.
It has long active frames.
Yeah. So it's not hard to time. And the best part, 1 frame recovery.
1 frame recovery.
So if you're just holding back and like press illusion once, the odds of them hitting you out of the recovery are nigh impossible.
Pretty much.
So if you're just like trying to catch something out there, you might as well throw it out. Because it's basically the same as blocking.
So what happens?
And like if you're just mashing on illusion, then it's only 5 frame gaps between the startup and recovery.
Yeah. So what happens after they teleport? I'm pretty sure like you can't throw this out against like air attacks too much. Like if they try to attack.
Yeah. So here's the big problem with illusion: is that the catch after you, actually catch a move, the illusion teleport itself is a bad move. Like, it's invincible from frames 1 to 20, but in total it's a 26 frame animation. So you technically have 6 frames of recovery on your own counter after 20 frames.
So you are not positive.
So a lot of characters can just hit you out of your counter, and then while you're recovering from the teleport, just hit you again, and you're not safe.
Yeah, unless they're doing grounded moves, which have whiff recovery. But if they
can't cancel it, then it's fine. But if they're like falling in with like a jumping move, then they'll recover time enough to just like match scratching light,
Pretty much.
They'll hit you no matter what side you're on.
So if like Morgan shell kicks you, you counter, end up behind her, she can still hit you before you completely recover from that.
Right.
But there is some
anti-air. It is scary to do.
There is some ways to get around this. Yeah.
Yes, with one of Strange's magic tricks is that, well, it doesn't look like at first, but that illusion is dash cancelable on catch.
So you can actually, it's 10 bosses original tech, you can actually dash cancel within 1 frame, I think, of countering a move.
I think it's 2 frames, actually.
Wow, that's actually more than I thought.
Like, yeah, it's 2 frames and you can buffer the dash.
And
so
yeah,
you can just mash on dash if you want to, and it'll work.
Whoops. I'll do it. Let me try practicing this. The timing is like you can kind of like do it right but you kind of have to like have it for this one. Man, I do all.
You tried to time your dash earlier rather than later, like because again you could buffer into dash.
As you can see right there, I completely went through his move. Otherwise, it would just come out as illusion. I just dashed right through his move as if it never existed.
Yeah, you might want to turn on input display for this part.
Okay. Come on, Virgil. Oh god, it's always doing it 1 second late. You see? Oops, my bad. I'm just gonna do it immediately. 1. Okay. See?
So really it's just as simple as dashing right as you're about to get hit, so
yeah, you just match
it's kind of like holding out your parry, but then you have to press the parry again, so to speak.
Just mash that dash button the moment you counter the move.
Yeah. Like, if you really want to, you could just hold out the H and then mash on dash for that 20 so frames, and like you'll end up going forward with a standing medium, and that'll give you enough time to confirm into a falling.
So yeah, and one little tidbit, it's also cancelable into bolts of ball attack, but I would never see anyone really using that unless you're like countering like Strider here use Vajra assist. So that's the only time I would really. Oops, my bad.
Or Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Because someone fights that matchup somewhere on the planet.
See, it's a pretty useful move in certain situations. Like you gotta know when to use it, and if you use it against certain characters like Hulk, Hagar, Wolverine's dive kick that you know you're gonna be able to counter, it's probably one of the best moves in the game to use.
Yeah. One thing to quickly note though is that if you're trying to counter a move that hits multiple times, dash canceling it will not save you.
Oh yeah, like don't dash.
Because the next,
don't
like
dash.
shell kick or
shell kick.
doom jump medium, if you could counter that and try to dash out of it, you'll get hit.
Yeah, so I would never use this against like Lariat. You're just gonna end up running up to the other 2 hits of Lariat. So only counter that 1 hit, but then after you dash cancel, you can't counter the other 2 hits. Unless you manage to somehow magically dash cancel 3 times in a row right away. I doubt you'll ever. Yeah. That's
all his normal moves.
Yep, that's pretty much all his normal moves. We move on to specials now.
Alright, special moves. There's a lot of them, and they're all very different. We're starting off, yes, with the single dagger up the neck. Called these Onion Rings.
They come out in different positions, but it doesn't really matter sometimes.
Yeah, it is random which direction they come out, but it doesn't matter too much. If anything, it's just there to confuse your opponent.
Yeah, so light daggers is probably one of the main ways to end a block string on certain characters. Like, if they're blocking, Mystic Sword isn't always going to be the safe option out. So what you would do is like crouching light a few times heavy and then light daggers to knock to keep yourself safe. They can still hit you after you throw out the eye with the dagger, but once the dagger is out, it usually comes back regardless of whether or not Strange gets hit, just because it's been out already. Because you put them in enough block stun for the daggers to be out long enough that Strange getting hit wouldn't make it disappear. Yeah.
Yeah. And they would have to be mashing to hit you out between the gap of the crouching heavy and the light dagger.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do, then they'll end up getting counter hit, and you might even be able to pick up a combo after it.
So light daggers. When would I use this mostly, other than block strings?
Full screen, it's good. It's just like a standard Hadouken. If you don't want to, the medium Mystic Sword is also good for that purpose, but it has more recovery, but it also has more durability, so that's the trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
But the light daggers, it homes in, so that gives you a bit more accuracy, and it's still, I think, it's 3 durability.
3 durability?
So if you're not,
what does that
yeah,
translate
if you're
to?
not too worried about projectile wars, then it's better for full screen attacks, just because it has less recovery, and it will home in.
They home in. That's an important part of the light dagger.
Yeah.
What can they eat a Hadouken?
No, because Hadoukens, Ryu's Hadoukens, are 5 durability,
Dang.
which is the same as Soul Fists. So in those matchups, you would want to use Mystic Sword.
Dang, that's...
But if you're just trying to pester someone, you're full screen the Mystic Sword, or at least the same speed.
Mm-hmm. It's a good spacing tool because it forces certain characters out of their comfort zone. Doom has to jump when he sees his things sometimes. They instinctively jump, and that can put them in a position that they don't want to be.
Yeah.
Cause
and also, if someone's in the air, if it's Doom doing photon shots, the daggers will hit them out of it. You can't be standing still against this kind of zoning.
Yeah.
Another cool thing that I recently figured out that I just like doing is that you could combo bolts of Balthak after a full screen daggers with neck L. It's kind of cool.
Wow, I didn't know you could do that. So that's comboable, huh? That's something I didn't know. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Projectile assist.
Uh-huh.
So my full screen poke combo is light dagger plus assist, and then do another light dagger, and those are all combo. Then do bolts and cancel the super. And that does 500.
Oh wait, so light dagger with the 0 assist and then light dagger again?
Yeah, and that'll get you 4 hits, and then you could combo a bolt after it. You can also just teleport and do a full combo, but sometimes you don't have that kind of time to hit confirm it.
The light dagger should never be, unless you're in a really desperate situation, it should never really be thrown in the air, because the forward fireball set of motions of moves from Strange doesn't allow you to recover until you touch the floor. So basically, you're free to get hit throwing out daggers until you touch the floor.
Yeah, on reaction.
You can't cancel
unless
anything,
you have an
right?
assist out.
Except super, and even that's unsafe.
Yeah, you can super.
That's the only thing you could do. You can spell with a shot, but that's about it. Throwing out light daggers in the air is a very unsafe move. You cannot block until you touch.
If you're ever in this, there are a few situations where you're above an opponent and you don't really have the option to teleport away. And it's really scary to just fall down with nothing, because they could air throw you at any time, and you might not be ready to tech that. If you fall down with a light dagger, you'll usually fall with the medium version, because that takes way too much time.
That's true. What's the frame date on
so
this?
If you have no choice and you have to fall down with a move, light dagger is the best one.
I mean, I would just throw out H sometimes, or yeah. H or S at times, but I guess light daggers is a little more safe at times.
Yeah. Again, that's just a desperation tool. You don't really want to be in that situation in the first place.
And now...
So the data on that move, it's 11 frames startup, and the projectile is active after 15 frames. So basically after frame 26 is when the dagger is guaranteed to go out, even if Strange gets hit.
So once it's like floating up like that in the air, you really can't make it disappear even if you hit Strange.
Right. And it's only 3 durability points.
Not very strong as a projectile. So for the next set, we have the larger version of it. 3 of them, so it should be like what, 9 durable? 9?
Yeah, it's a total of 9.
Because it's 3 plus 3, which I'm assuming...
Oh, actually, it says it's 15. Like the medium version.
Whoa, so these are actually stronger than expected. They're not just 3 light daggers added together. They're more heavy hitting versions that come out way slower.
That's interesting because I know the assist version is 3x3, but I guess the point version is 3x5.
So 3x5 for point,
at least.
3x5 and then 3x3s. It could have been updated, but who knows? We'll just assume. I mean, it's like not anyone really like matters. I mean, you throw out those daggers, you're not really going to use it to counter someone else's projectiles at times.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a projectile war move. It's mostly a mix-up tool move.
Yeah. Oh, one thing about the daggers, both of them allow you, the enemy is one of the moves you can use to push an enemy out of the corner. Because as you know, Strange like Phoenix cannot teleport into the corner, but daggers can force them out of it. So it's one of the moves that can push an enemy out of the corner.
Another one of the ways that it's a good mix-up tool. And another thing I forgot to go over is that these moves are Tiger Kneeable, and the Tiger Knee version of both daggers gives you less recovery. A little bit less. It's not a lot, but it's enough to where if you're full screen and you do a Tiger Knee dagger to Mag Light, you could actually teleport and do a mix-up with it. But yeah, it would be like perfect timing.
Dang, I did not know that. That was insane. So I couldn't even like combo off of that just because it's so fast. Has to be like the lowest like Tiger Knee ever. But wow. So it allows the
it's easier to do the farther away you are.
So yeah. Anything else? I mean, we kind of like explained the medium daggers with the light ones. It's just slower, more powerful.
Well, the medium one, because you have more time before the daggers fire off.
Yeah.
That's a good time for you to like do a teleport mix-up.
You know the eye.
So the best way.
Sorry, go ahead. The best way.
Well, like, because basically you want to get them out. You have enough time to teleport left or right, and they'll usually get hit by the cross-up because no one ever seems to block it for some reason.
You know the Eye of Agamotto.
I've had people block. I've had people block my normal teleport mix-ups, but anytime I do daggers into that camp, they just don't block it.
Yeah, because it's unexpected to just teleport after, but like the Eye of Agamotto actually has enough time in when it disappears. Like if you throw daggers right after an eye, the Eye of Agamotto will actually there are times when the Eye of Agamotto will disappear the moment the daggers in the knock are ready to cross someone up. So this is a halfway decent mix-up where you hit the eye, throw out daggers, and right when it disappears, you hit them from behind. But it works depending on what distance they are. The closer you are, the less likely it's going to work because the eye hits them more often.
Yeah, like in those situations, you could adjust it by using an assist. Like if you have a horizontal assist, you can get a bit more or less blocks done depending on how you want to use it.
And it appears that when I do a low flight, I can't throw daggers in a low flight for some reason.
Oh, that's strange.
He is strange.
No pun intended. I guess it has a very small height threshold.
Yeah, I can't throw daggers at a low flight, I guess. But yeah, you should use it. It's a good move for zoning, for pestering. It forces the enemy out of their comfort zone because you kind of have to move them around.
Yeah. Like, if you have enough time to cast out and daggers, then, go for it. Like, they have to deal with it. and you're not going to beat it out. That's 15 durability, you know. So, and again, like if you have them locked down with something and you have enough time to cast it out, then that's perfect for a mix-up. But other than that, like I see a lot of strange players that just like spam M daggers and don't really do anything with it. In those situations, you might as well be using the light version, because the M daggers will all home in on the same position. So if you're just trying to hit someone, you might as well do the light, because it's gonna be.
And that's pretty much.
Avoiding M daggers is just as easy as avoiding the light version. Well, it's not. It's easier because it's not as slow.
Yeah. So light is probably more beneficial for like Strange's neutral game overall, and medium is probably better for the mix-up side.
Yeah, and like Oki setups and incoming setups and stuff like that.
Pushing them out
like
of
it's
the
not
corner
useless.
and all. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. What's the frame date on this bad boy here?
Now the light daggers was 11 frames. The medium daggers is 31 frames. That's just an extra 20.
That's a lot.
And the 3 projectiles are active after 45 frames. So that's a total of 76. Yeah, 76 frames. And then the dagger is totally guaranteed to fire off. So that's a whole second you have.
Yeah. But it's useful. It's got its uses. It's all depending on like what situation you're put in. Are you trying to mix the enemy up? Is the enemy too close, too far? Or are the incoming daggers, depending on what situation, a light or a medium dagger may be a better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have the next one.